Hey y'all. So I desperately need to clean my brushes. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about brushes and applicators while I do clean them. And I will show you a couple things that I use that really help. Now you can go out and you can buy brush cleaning stuff and you can buy all this fancy equipment for cleaning your brushes and your beauty blenders and your applicators, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I do not. To me, it's actually very easy to clean the brushes, and there's a lot of things that you can use that will not be damaging to the brushes or your skin, and they work honestly just as well. So if you're looking at regular soaps, I do recommend antibacterial is a good thing, but it can be very harsh on your skin if it does get left over in the brushes. So that's up to you. You have to really clean your brushes if you're using antibacterial. Avoid things that bubble and foam too much, because those bubbles and all that foam and all that sud can get stuck in your brushes, and it will highly affect the way that your makeup lays down next time you go to use it. Even if the brush is dry, there's a lot of product that gets left over. I also recommend using hot water. It just cleans better. It doesn't have to be boiling water, like you don't want to damage the bristles or anything, but make sure you're using warmer water. And for synthetic brushes, you can go a little bit harsher with them. With your natural hair brushes, you're going to want to be more gentle. Your sponges, you got to make sure that you're really not only getting the product out, but getting the excess soap out afterwards. They do hold a lot of product. What else? You're going to want to, when you're washing them, you're actually going to want to spread apart the bristles and move the bristles and move it around, because there is product that gets stuck in the center of the brush that if you're not really massaging it out, it's not going to come out. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing I do is just get all of my brushes wet. Make sure everything is saturated. And this is just regular water. So I have every type of applicator in here. I have all my different brushes in here. And how often you should wash your brushes and your stuff really depends on how often you're putting on makeup. You know, like this one I hardly ever use. You can see there's a little bit of product in it, but not much. This one, however, I use every single day, and you can obviously see the buildup. But one thing you need to remember is that all this extra product and everything that you put on your skin with any of these tools will get stuck inside the tools. So even if you don't use them every day, you're letting it sit. And that can create bacteria growth. It obviously makes the tools work differently, because this isn't going to be able to pick up and spread product as well as a clean tool. So that's just really the biggest thing, is that you're promoting bacteria growth by not cleaning your brushes, and you're also affecting the way the brushes and applicators work. And all of this goes on your face, and your face has fairly sensitive skin that you want to take care of the best you can. And having clean brushes is a very important thing to do to take care of your face. So now what I have here is a very gentle soap. It does not have alcohols in it. It is safe to use anywhere on the body, but it is just a regular soap. And I like to use that one because of how gentle it is, but it really does a good job of cleaning everything. And it's safe for your skin, therefore, even if some product is left over, it's not going to be damaging to your skin. So one of the things I did mention was how you have to move around the bristles. And you do want to be gentle, because you don't want to break your bristles or mess up the shape of the brush. So one thing that helps is having a washcloth or just another surface. You can even use your hand if you're doing it by hand. But just having another surface to kind of press your brush against and open up the bristles. So you're making sure you're cleaning the whole brush. And then with your beauty blenders and your beauty sponges, you want to make sure that they're completely saturated, and then just kind of press the extra product out. And it will come out. Now, after a while, beauty blenders are meant to be replaced. You can clean them, obviously. They will stain. So sometimes even as good as you can clean it, it's not going to come perfectly clean. But do remember that you're still getting rid of a lot of that bacteria in it, and you're still getting rid of a lot of the excess product. Once you can always feel that oil from the products that you use, it's usually time for a new beauty blender. You can get them fairly cheap, so they're not terrible to replace. Your brushes, the more you take care of them, the longer they will last. Alright, so I have put soap on all of my brushes. Now I'm just focusing on cleaning them out, getting the soap out of them. Really making sure that they are soap-free and product-free as well. And then putting them aside once I am done. And now makeup will stain, I might have just said that, but makeup will stain certain things. So if you're not getting all of the color out of your brushes or applicators, it doesn't necessarily mean they are still dirty. It just means that they are stained at that point. Alright, so I'm going to finish this and go lay out my brushes. So there we have the clean and drying brushes, and you can definitely see a huge difference. Like I said, this one is a little bit stained pink. This one's a little stained purple, but they are clean. Now, I will leave them here on my stove because I have nowhere else to put them. You can also hang them up if you have brush hangers, or you can put them on an actual drying rack. For me, the paper towel works just fine, but you can see the difference in the sponges and the brushes. And when they dry, they will be just as fluffy and just as soft. However, they do have to dry completely to get back to a usable state, which, depending on how hot it is in the house, depending on what's going on around the brushes, depending on humidity, it can take quite a few hours. I'll probably let these sit for the rest of the day and into tomorrow until I need them again, and then I will just use the ones that are actually dry. The beauty blenders surprisingly usually dry the quickest, especially if you wring them out afterwards. They tend to dry in less than 24 hours. So there we have it, and that is how I clean my brushes. I hope that was helpful. Do not try to use brushes and tools that are gross and just not hygienic, because you will pay the price for it on your face. All right, love you guys. Bye.